Hello survivors, I'm the SurvivalVis, and welcome to Northern Lights. This is going to be a new series I'm going to jump into a little bit on the channel, and I want to give some backstory, because this is a really amazing opportunity that I got approached by. So, Northern Lights is developed by MadGoat Studios, and I think it was on December 22nd. They actually sent me an email asking if I'd cover this, or I'd like to check it out and do a little bit of it on the channel. So, I have the press kit opened up here, and I'll read through it, but I want to give a big thanks to, I know I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, but I believe it's Claudiu. So, they approached me with the email, asked if I'd cover it, check it out because of some of the other stuff I've done on the channel, and I'm more than happy to. So let me read up on the press kit, then I'll get a little bit more into some of the other details of Northern Lights. So Northern Lights is an open-world survival simulation set in extreme conditions of the Arctic tundra. Playing to life, you must use real-life survival techniques to gather resources, craft, and hunt while tending to your health and sanity. Let's scroll down a little bit. The objective is to survive as long as possible by scavenging and using whatever resources you can find within the world. This includes commodities such as food, water, materials, medicine, and tools such as weapons, axes, knives, and a myriad of other items. Wildlife is also present in the form of ferocious predators such as bears and wolves that may attack you on sight, to non-threatening animals such as the reindeer, moose, foxes, boar, and hare that may only attack if provoked. It's kind of funny to include the hare into that situation, like you're going to be attacked by the rabbits if you provoke them. Fire being a primary component is necessary for warmth and cooking. Starting fire is no easy job. Besides building the fire itself, the player must search for dry items that can act as tinder and a way to start the fire. In order to navigate the Arctic desert, the player must make use of the map and compass. In their journey, the player often contract afflictions, diseases, forcing them to think twice before eating raw meat or consuming an unknown plant. Taking the wrong step can often result in severe afflictions or lost sanity that leads to deadly hallucinations. So, it does come across very similar to The Long Dark. And, I mean, when you kind of think of winter survival, quintessentially The Long Dark is the one that comes to mind, but just the setting itself is exactly what it says. One thing I do like noted here is consuming an unknown plant. Because in The Long Dark, you already knew everything that would kind of happen depending on what you eat or what you would try to have. Like, I think the kind of insight to that was William Mackenzie's character was a bush pilot. So you know what rose hips were, what mushrooms were, old man's beard was. Here, though, it seems like you're not going to get that information right off the bat, so you're going to have to be cautious and try to figure out how do you experiment, how do you learn these in a safe way. And I do like that touch, because it is throwing you without much preparation into a situation like this. Okay, so about MadGoat Studio itself. It's an independent game studio based in Romania, Bucharest, that was born of the ambition for developing and publishing high-quality video games. Currently, Studio consists of 3 core members that share the same passion for game development. So, I don't want to say it's unlike a larger studio or unlike, say, Hinterland that is behind Long Dark. Northern Lights is really basically made by 3 people, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see what comes out. Because on the channel, we have covered a lot of games that have been done just by either small teams or just by a single person. And it's ranged incredibly from how complex and in-depth and immersive these experiences can be. We're almost done with all the talk stuff, but again, I have a little bit after that, so let me just get through this, then we'll get into things. So, the features for the game: survival mode. Survival is your only goal, and death is your biggest impediment. Will you live to fight another day? There are choices and outcomes. Keeping your stats under control, not keeping hunger, hydration, body temperature, energy, and balance can have repercussions on your in-game sanity. That's another one that's interesting, and The Long Dark, aside from cabin fever, I don't know if they really did a lot of mechanics with, but are you able to stay sane in a situation like this, or how are you going to keep your head in a working mindset? That's another aspect to survival that can be overlooked, is it can drive you nuts for certain things out in experiences like that, so tying a key game mechanic behind that is a very good idea. Only the strongest can survive. In Northern Lights, you'll find a range of activities you can do. Be ready to hunt, fish, scavenge for food and gear items, start fires, craft items, maintain your gear, and most importantly, endure the harsh environment with its predators and the variety of possibly deadly afflictions you can contract. Be the hunter or become hunted, the diverse wildlife we talked about before, a broad and animated world, a beautiful yet frightening island that contains delicate balance between pure nature and an abandoned world composed of a variety of locations. So it's going to be interesting to see what locations there are. An interesting one already just from the main screen here seems to be that island-wise, we might have boats, we might have ports, harbors. It is going to be probably a little bit varied like how Long Dark has for a number of things, but it's that kind of like ghost town feeling that I don't think we've really had much of Long Dark like really encompass. I know we've had like Coastal Highway and Pleasant Valley, but they feel like such isolated structures or such small standing areas. I don't think they feel like that true ghost town or village sort of feel to them, so Northern Lights might actually have something a little bit better in store towards that. And it's going to pause for a moment, it's just that I can change up my captures a little bit here. Okay, there we go. So now I actually want to talk about something that Northern Lights just went through, and one of the reasons why it kind of got recommended to me at this timing is that the developers actually had it out on Steam, I believe they said for a year now, but they weren't quite happy with the state it was put out in, so they went back and they overhauled the game. So one thing I always want to commend and I want to encourage is giving support to the developers and the people behind their games and their products, that when it's not up to their standard and they don't like how it's come out, they actually take the time, dedication, and effort to go back to not only making sure they step up the old code or the old things to the game, but make sure it all runs properly and goes more to their vision. Because this could have easily just been something where it's like, okay, we gotta cut our losses and just sign it off. No. This is our passion project. We're stepping up, we're going back, we're going to try an overhaul. And since they've done that, the last 30 days on Steam when I was on their page actually were all very positive reviews for it. So I'm very happy to check it out myself and see what Northern Lights has in store. But we're finally through all the talk, let's hop into this. So, there are, I believe, 4 levels of difficulty. We've got Resourceful, Survivor, Prey, and... oh, no, whoops. And Wanderer. Okay, so Wanderer, Resourceful, Survivor, Prey. So it does look like it basically goes Wanderer... I don't think I want Wanderer. I'm kind of looking either Resourceful or Survivor. But because I'm a bit new to the mechanics, I think I might start with Resourceful. So Wanderer, it basically is Pilgrim mode, or not Pilgrim, is it Pilgrim? Basically like peaceful mode in a way. Peacefully wander the world, Mother Nature poses no threat to you. For new or experienced players interested in thoughtful exploration, finish story at your own pace, so there is actually a story element to it. I guess try and get off the island as well, survive as long as you can. Wildlife not attacked unless provoked, and Mother Nature's elements are calm. For Resourceful, be the hunter or become hunted. Often find yourself struggling for survival. Newer experienced players looking for balance between exploration and survival. And I think this might be my best one stepping foot here. Wildlife will act territorial. Mother Nature's elements are challenging, but the abundant resources make up for it. Survivor, at any point, Mother Nature's elements can take a different twist. Much more like real life, to be completely honest there. Veteran players looking for challenging survival experience. Aggressive wildlife that will hunt you down when you least expect it. And Mother Nature's elements are burdensome and resources are harder to find. And Prey, which is basically, I think, like the Stalker mode for Long Dark, everything is turned against you. Only the strongest can survive struggle against the force of unforgiving Mother Nature. Extra players look for the ultimate hardcore survival experience. Hungered wildlife that will hunt you down at first sight. Mother Nature spills its wrath upon you. Environment becomes hostile and resources are scarce. One of the things about the Long Dark that I've always found kind of a weighted thing has been like how the wolves can be. Like at lower difficulties, I think there's much less chance to be like attacked on sight, but they don't exactly feel like just a natural animal at times in the world. Because they're so aggressive, it almost makes me want to have them more in depth. So I'm curious to see how this Resourceful might be, where they're going to be more territorial towards you. But everything looks good, let's just hop in and start. Another thing that's going to be, again, similar is to Long Dark, but also a bit different is going to be the art style, because the Long Dark has its own sort of art style that's pretty unique to itself, whereas I think for Northern Lights, it's going to be much more of a, not really going for an art style, more of a, like, I wouldn't say super realistic, but going more for, like, less artsy, less stylistic, and more realism, perhaps, is the way of putting it. We'll just see once we load up and how it goes and how things play out, because this is where we're going to get into the meat and, like, the real aspects to the game. And, oh, actually, we'll just give it a moment there. I just saw the cursor kind of disappear, which usually is a sign it's about ready. But one thing I also want to try doing is coming at this more from a neutral point, like, as generous as it was to have developers come through and contact me in regards to the game, I don't want to let that be too biased to wanting to, like, just sing praises all the time about this. I want to approach this to give proper... Oh, September 13th, Northern Siberia. I want to give proper and neutral stance so I can give good feedback and take in the game from kind of like a critical standpoint. Okay, so we literally do start right in the middle of nowhere. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, so flora. You can find a variety of herbs in the Arctic flora, from plants and mushrooms to tasty berries. Be careful, some herbs may help you cure diseases, others can be straight poisonous. Yeah, so we'll take that. Unknown mushrooms. See, that's what I like. I'm just going to try to change the settings a little bit right now. Because, I mean, my computer's not the best one, so I think I'll just try it on medium. And hopefully that'll make things run a little bit smoother for me. Oh yeah, much smoother now. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I'm just going to take the mushrooms. Can we pick up... Oh, yeah, we can pick up rocks. Everything you pick goes straight in your inventory. Press tab to access it. Interact with items, press right mouse button. Now, this is actually a pretty interesting way to tackle the, the inventory system. Because you basically have, like, different pockets represented for... Okay, you do use a carry weight like the Long Dark, but it's a little more broken up to as if you're going right into your backpack for looking for certain things. And actually, I really like it because you see how the little pockets are all, like, interchanged. Like, this is the main component, this is more what's strapped to it, this is the bottom pocket. That's actually a pretty nice and immersive system there for it. Okay, so this is our... Ooh. So we do have looks like a fair-sized island, if this is just a little chunk around us right now. And then we have our quest to escape the island. Scout main locations to find a way to escape. So one thing I'm just trying to look around for... Okay, so map and compass. In order to navigate the Arctic wastelands, you'll have to make use of your map and compass. Map can be accessed by pressing M. When you first start the game, your map is incomplete. In order to reveal regions, you need to find missing map pieces which are scattered across the world. And that's actually something the Long Dark... I don't know if they ever actually included now. I mean, part of the Long Dark story is that there is the, Okay, let's take that and that. Yeah. Oh, we got a new blueprint for stick holder. One thing about Long Dark is because they had it set in, like, a, geomagnetic storm or anomaly going on. So, kind of like, I'd have a feeling the magnetic field would be all kinds of nuts, so maybe compasses would be rendered obsolete. But it's still nice to have in a survival game, just a compass you pull out to know your cardinal directions. Okay, what do we got here? Yeah, more unknown plants. Yeah, again, I do like that's kind of the system they decide go for with it. Okay, so yeah, don't really see anything around here too off the bat. I'm just trying to look around too to see if there's anything in our HUD in regards to, like, our warmth, our status, stuff like that. And there's the compass. I will also... Okay, so tab or I both work for getting the inventory. They also have a decay on them, too, and it's nice to see... I'll try and see. Okay, so... Consumed unknown mushroom, 5 hunger, 5 energy. So it doesn't actually tell you what the name is, but it does tell you, like, the effects you get from it. And that is... Poisonous, minus 15 sanity. Yeah, so that's going to be one of the things to... Oh. And then if you use Q, you can see what status effects you're suffering from. Okay. So we got a storm already blowing in. I don't really have any shelter prepared. Let me see... Okay, yeah, so there's stones, and I got a recycled can. Okay, so there's probably going to be a way to access, like, a build menu and stuff there. Right now, I'm just trying to see... I'll just continue along here, and then hopefully we can find somewhere to kind of, like, shelter up in. Okay, just patch of grass. Anything that's kind of poking above the snow would be a good thing just to investigate. It makes me wonder, too, if maybe you'd be able to find, like, skill book... Well, maybe not skill books, per se, but, like, information books about, like, new blueprints or what plants and that you do find or come across are. I am a little curious about if there's probably more things to... Let me look at the controls, see if there is anything right in there that I can use to help get me a little bit... Okay, interact with E, binoculars, compass, tool slot, stats is tab, okay. So probably at a certain... Oh, here's everything over here. Okay, so this is all the clothing I got on right now. We have... I'm guessing gears are your durability. The frost is probably your cold protection. You actually have, like, an armor rating, I think, for, like... I guess if you... Oh, excuse me, do get attacked. And the others might be how impacted your run speed or movement speed are with what you're kind of wearing. Oh, doesn't look like that's anything. Okay, let's snag the sticks. And yeah, with this... I'm not really sure what I'll be able to find with, like, all the snow coming down right now. I am kind of curious to see a bit more... Like, I was looking to see where there might be something more like your proper temperature and, like, your sanity meters, considering I do have the afflictions right now there. I'm wondering if, again, because the tutorial's still on, those are going to be hidden until I, like, hit a certain thing or, like, I trigger them to become active. Okay, I guess I just really got to keep going in a direction here. Yeah, so I'm working my... Oh, actually, we have a little map down here, so... There are locations, cave, a fishing hut, undiscovered stuff. Yes. Oh, here we go. Okay, after wandering through the cold Siberia, body temperatures drop drastically. Stand next to heat source or frostbite. This has to be tracked by pressing T and interacting with your watch. Okay, so that's time. Okay, so the bottom left there, that's actually your little temperature gauge, is the little thermometer. I probably should have recognized that as a symbol a little bit more. Yeah, so there's kind of the saying. So now I know how I can track temperature. You don't let me snag more of the mushrooms, because I know these are at least safe. Well, I think they are. I'll have to double check the backpack if they are like the other ones I've picked up. But again, I do like this more like learning curve, where you're just thrust into this. You don't know rose hips or some of these like basic survival aspects, so you have to try to manage them much more on your own. Okay, so at least I'm kind of in an area... Now, yeah, so I'm out of that one little area, so the map will not reveal itself unless I find another piece to, like, where I'm in now. I am hoping... Oh, maybe... You know what? That might be a certain aspect that I overlooked. The bottom left is where a lot of the information is. So I'm guessing the brain is a way, like the brain icon down there is a way to judge your sanity, your heart. Actually, the anatomically correct heart is how you track your overall health or condition. And then your... Yeah, so if you need to sprint, that's your yellow bar. And just your general energy is the one above that. Okay. I really wish this didn't blow in so quickly. It's like, I don't think I saw it. I didn't really have a chance to look around and see if there were any landmarks really to go off of. And that... Nope. Arm came up for some reason, but I don't know exactly why. I mean... if there are supposedly fishing huts, maybe we'll find them down more towards the coast. Although, I'm also looks like I found my way up onto a mountain somehow. Yeah, this looks kind of steep here. Okay, so I'm gonna have to try and figure out... Oh, I did see little... Yeah, so bottom right will also have, like, little events for what I'm losing for, like, statuses as well there. I just gotta try to figure out what I could do here, because I really didn't get a chance to really look around before this blew right in. There's gotta be a way to also get to, like, a build menu or something, because, like, if I have a blueprint for the stick holder... that means there's gotta be quite a few other things I can do as well. Okay, so chopping wood. Trees can be chopped down using a hatchet. Once trees have been cut down, will yield wood logs and sticks. You can keep cutting logs, you'll get firewood. Wood logs are best used in creating a bonfire, while firewood is best used in creating a small fire or campfire. But I need a hatchet for that. Oh? I heard like a little squeak, like maybe a rabbit or something around us too. Yeah, so you can't get a general idea of where you are on the map. I'd almost wager it might be worth it to take the player icon out, so that way you don't know exactly where you are. And then you can't... And then you have to use a little bit more of like the compass and your landmarks to kind of get your bearings. That might be just a suggestion to make it a little bit more proper to survival, or it might even be something, depending on your difficulty, that's gets taken out, depending on, again, the difficulty you select. And then, okay, I do have a crouch. It seems to be a... I just want to check that. Is that maybe something I could, like, apply as a setting just to turn it on or not? It doesn't really... Okay, let me actually look up the journal again. Maybe it's... Okay, so I got quests. I've got flora. Affliction. Oh, so as you encounter afflictions, you'll actually get information in your journal here about it. So then this is... Okay, here we go. So I can actually make a stone knife. Okay, we got that. A small fire. Okay, I'm going to need 14 sticks. I really don't think I've got that many so far, but I do have the knife now. So I've got 5 and 6. Okay, so they stack up like that. Oh. Well, hello, dear. I don't exactly... Yeah, sorry, Dare. I mean, you did get exploited because of, like, the terrain you're in. But I do kind of need you. So you do have... Looks like it's going to be pretty simple harvest. So there are going to be some mechanics that aren't quite super in-depth to it. But it is nice to see that I've already gotten some, like, materials such as that. Especially in this weather right now. Okay, hypothermia risk. And there in the bottom left, another icon to show that. Okay, so... Oh! I think it's also letting up too, because I'm starting to see blue sky. Oh! And we actually have like a little shiver in that. Okay, so if we're up here now... Yeah, this gives me a little bit of a better chance to look around, see what's... like, in my general area. So far, it looks like I kind of wandered up into a mountain area. So I don't know if I'll really find that much up here or not. I may do some more adjustments with the graphics just between episodes, just to try to get it running a little smoother. I'm usually not too big of a stickler for like the optimization in early access games, because let's face it, there's a lot more groundwork to get finished first, and then that can be something that's focused on afterwards. It's probably much better to get yourself more like the working prototype fully made than to go too far into like trying to get the optimization going well. Like if the game doesn't even operate as a game, then what's the point on making it try to run as best as it can? So maybe down here... So it looks like maybe a strong wind's going through. Like, it is nice to see, like, the trees really swaying in that here. Okay, let me try the journal again. And yeah, we'll just try something there. Okay, so it actually works like how the forest does for putting down blueprints, is you can put it down anywhere, but then you have to add materials into it. Successfully start a fire, craft yourself a fire starter item, and find some tinder. For this purpose, dry items work best. Don't forget you can add fuel so it keeps burning. Okay, so I do not actually have anything for tinder right now. I do hear another animal of some kind. Oh, snare trap, but I need rope for that. Stick bed I could try making. Tent shelter. So there's quite a few things there. There's our rock and stick holder. Drying rack. Oh. I wonder if that's like an alert to say, like, oh. Okay, that chaga mushroom. Now, how do I know the name of that? See, yeah, I don't really have anything I can do there. And let me keep going through here. Is there anything else in here? No, I'll probably have to discover the materials first before I can make use of that. I was hoping maybe I could try ripping up some of the grass and that uses tinder, but I'll have to try finding something else. And I only have the knife. Actually, I only have... Maybe I can make a better stone hatchet. Ah, the rope I need to figure out where I can get that. If I can get that, I can make the hatchet. And then that'll let me start cutting down some trees. Okay, so that looks like that's an hourly chime that I probably just wasn't hearing because of the, how strong the snow was, or the blow. How the storm was basically blowing in on us. Yeah, I've got hypothermia now. Like, there's another animal, but let me check the map. How far... Maybe I should have gone to that lake instead, and I could have found, like, a fishing hut. That probably would have been a smarter move than just wandering off into a blizzard randomly like I did. Yeah, so let's see. North is... Oh, keep that held out. Up this way, so that should probably be my direction to go first. Oh, Lord. How did I walk? I went walking for like 10 minutes. I found myself in the middle of the frickin' mountains. Like, good Lord, I did not go the right way. Okay, why are you going off so much? Oh. Oh, that's what you can do. If you click, you actually cycle through different things to it. Okay. Yeah, so you can check time to see when night's coming, what the actual temperatures are. Thankfully, food and water I'm actually okay with, but temperature has gone down to rock bottom there. So that's how it operates. It actually seems like they took a lot of inspiration from a few different survival games. Like Stranded Deep, I think, used the watch system to check your needs. The Forest, they decide to... Oh, I think that's a moose out there. Oh, actually, I think I might actually be able to throw the knife. Yeah, you actually can. That's a neat little thing you could try doing, although I don't think it's that effective. But then, oh, there were also, like, stick spears, I think, in the crafting menu, so... Okay, I'm guessing this is trying to warn me, like, you really gotta get your temperature up, because that is terrible right now, and I agree it is. At least I'm starting to come back to where resources actually exist. I should be mindful of, like, the moose that we just... Oh. Yeah, I gotta be mindful of the animals. They are territorial, so I don't know how close you can, like, get before they might get provoked. But oh, there are a lot of animals around here. Okay, maybe what I'll do, because this didn't exactly start off as best as it could have, maybe I'll try starting a new game where I do a little bit better... I thought I heard something else there, but maybe what I will do is... I'll look at starting a new game. That way I can try to see how... Oh, that's interesting. You actually, I think, have to save at, like, a proper campsite. So yeah, I'm going to start a new game, be a little bit better about how I load in, and we'll get right into it more next episode. But I did want to go over everything because with the channel slowly growing, this is a big opportunity and big step to be very grateful to MadGoat Studios and the developers there for this chance. And I do like having more survival games out there. Like, just in general, we could use some more proper bushcraft survival games. So far, Northern Lights is shaping up to be very interesting. I think the tutorials, it might be better to refer to the journal more as, like to check it up and to read on about it. But I do like how there is, again, you don't know the plant system. There's going to be blueprints and stuff you can kind of come up with, and you don't have to rely on pre-existing storage containers just dropping stuff randomly. You can actually build and leave items and objects in the world. So it'll be interesting to see more about it, but thank you guys for joining me on this episode so far. If you did like the video, be sure to give it a like, and if you have any comments, tips, or tricks, be sure to leave comments right down below. Until I do see you in the next video, survivors, please remember, as always, to take care and stay alive.